Some moments in life feel like the end of everything. When loss runs deep, the heart believes nothing good can follow. But Allah never closes a chapter without opening something far greater. This is the story of Surah Al Kausar. This story begins with loss and silence, a pain that cut deeper than words, a pain that changed everything. In the heart of Makkah, grief echoed inside a home where laughter once lived and life once felt complete. A young life had returned to Allah, leaving behind an ache of separation that no words could truly describe. But grief was not the end of the trial, and patience was about to face something far more painful. Outside those walls, mockery followed loss, and cruelty followed patience, as hearts hardened instead of softening. Words were spoken that should never follow the death of a child. Words meant to wound what was already broken. They said his legacy would end, that his name would fade, that nothing of him would remain. In their world, a man lived on only through his sons, and without sons, they believed he became nothing. They did not know that Allah measures worth in a way no human heart can ever fully understand. And in that moment of pain, Allah revealed words that would echo until the end of time. A revelation was sent, not only as comfort, but as a promise, written for all generations to come. Indeed, we have granted you Al Kausar, a gift greater than anything the world could ever offer. Al Kausar means abundance beyond measure, a river of goodness that never runs dry. It is every form of divine good in this life and in the life that never ends. It includes honor, followers, knowledge, mercy, and a reward no heart can fully imagine. Then Allah commanded something greater than sorrow, something stronger than grief. So pray to your Lord and offer your sacrifice with sincerity and complete devotion. True worship is not built on status, but on the quiet strength of obedience. Then came the final reversal, a promise that turned mockery into humiliation. It is your enemy who will be cut off, not the one who trusts in Allah. In Arabic, the word abtar means more than cut off. It means erased, forgotten, left with nothing that truly remains. The people thought they understood legacy, but what they understood was only what the eye could see. But Allah was preparing a meaning of legacy that would outlive kingdoms, armies, and every name carved in stone. A surah of only 3 verses would quietly rewrite everything they thought they knew. But what exactly is Al Kausar, and why did Allah choose this word at this moment of pain? Is it only a river in paradise, or something far greater that reaches into this life itself? Because if it is true abundance, then it changes how we understand loss, success, and even our own lives. And if the promise is real, then it was never only for that moment. It is speaking to us now. What if the way we measure success is the very thing that keeps us from understanding Al Kausar at all? To understand this surah, we must first unlearn everything the world taught us about what it means to win. The word Al Kausar comes from abundance, not a little more, but overflowing good with no visible end. It is the kind of abundance that cannot be counted, measured, or held by the hand. Some scholars say it is a river in paradise, reserved as a special honor for the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him. But its meaning does not end there. Al Kausar also includes knowledge, followers, honor, and lasting guidance. It means that what Allah gives does not disappear, even when the world says it will. This is why mockery could not harm the promise, because the promise came from Allah, not people. The world measures success by numbers, names, and power, but Allah measures it by truth. And this surah quietly corrected the entire way people had been taught to see success. Because real success is not what follows your name, it is what remains after your name is gone. And this is why Al Kausar is not just history. It is a message that still speaks to every heart today. Al Kausar is not only about honor in paradise, it also means dignity given in this world, even when people try to take it away. It means the truth cannot be buried by insults, and goodness cannot be erased by noise. Those who mocked thought legacy was loud, but Allah showed that real legacy is silent, steady, and unstoppable. And generation after generation, millions would love, follow, and honor the messenger without ever being forced. This is Al Kausar, a gift that expands across hearts, across history, and across the world. But here is the part that challenges us. This surah was not only about him, it is a lesson for us too. Because we still measure success the same way those people did, by numbers, attention, and what people say about us. We think success means being seen, being praised, being remembered, but this surah gently destroys that idea. Allah is teaching. True greatness is not in how the world measures you, but in how Allah raises you. If Al Kausar came during grief, then maybe the greatest blessings in our lives also come wrapped in moments of pain. Sometimes Allah doesn't remove the hardship immediately. He changes what it produces inside you. Sometimes He doesn't give what you lost back. He gives something greater than what you imagined. Al Kausar teaches us, when you are with Allah, nothing truly breaks you. It only shapes you. And when you choose worship over anger, patience over bitterness, Allah writes a different ending for you. This surah didn't just comfort. It redirected the heart from loss to worship, from pain to purpose. And maybe that is what we need today more than anything, a different way to see our struggles. Because if grief led to Al Kausar, then perhaps our pain is also carrying something we cannot see yet. And if Allah promised abundance in the middle of heartbreak, then maybe abundance is closer to us than we think. So the question is no longer, what did I lose? The question becomes, what is Allah giving me instead? And in the next part, we'll see how this surah doesn't only explain legacy, it reshapes how we live every single day. After promising Al Kausar, Allah immediately turned the heart toward worship, because gratitude is the door through which abundance stays. So pray to your Lord is not just instruction, it is protection for the heart from forgetting the source of every gift. When Allah gives, He does not want pride to grow. He wants prayer to grow. Because without worship, even abundance becomes a test that breaks the soul instead of lifting it. Prayer keeps the heart anchored when the world tries to pull it in every direction. And sacrifice means give from what you love, so your love returns to Allah. Sacrifice is how the soul learns that what it holds is never greater than who it serves. The more a heart gives for Allah, the lighter it becomes in the world. This is why worship and sacrifice always travel together. They train the soul to rise above loss. And when the heart rises above loss, nothing in this world can truly break it again. Allah did not just comfort. He reversed every insult with a promise that would never break. Those who mocked wanted to erase a legacy, but they could not erase what Allah chose to raise. And Allah declared, "It is your enemy who will be cut off, not the one who trusts in Him." Their power was loud, but it was temporary. His patience was quiet, but it was eternal. And history proved the promise true, exactly as Allah said it would. This surah did not only speak to one moment, it speaks to every believer who feels small. It reminds you that Allah sees what others do not, and He honors what the world ignores. You may lose people, you may lose support, but if you stand with Allah, you do not lose value. Sometimes Allah takes away so that He can give something far better than what was lost. And when Allah gives, He gives in ways that the world can witness, but never fully understand. Sometimes strength is not loud. Sometimes strength is simply choosing to keep moving, even when the heart hurts. This surah teaches that faith is not built when life is easy. It is built when life is breaking. And those who stay patient do not come out weaker. They come out unshakable. This is the heart of Surah Al Kausar. When people think you have lost, Allah may actually be preparing you to rise. Mockery fades, power fades, voices fade, but the promise of Allah does not fade. And the one they called cut off is the one whose name is remembered in every corner of the world. So whenever you feel forgotten, remember, the world may overlook you, but Allah never does. And even when loss feels final, with Allah, nothing truly ends. It transforms. Surah Al Kausar reminds the heart, abundance is not what you hold. Abundance is what Allah gives. And the one who trusts in Allah is never truly cut off. Their story only begins where others think it ends. This surah was revealed long ago, but its message was never meant to stay in the past. Because the same pain, the same doubts, and the same questions still live inside human hearts today. People still feel abandoned, unheard, forgotten, even when surrounded by noise and crowds. We chase approval, attention, and status, hoping they will give us what only Allah can give. And when life collapses, we begin to ask the same question every heart asks: why me? Sometimes loss is not a punishment. It is a doorway that opens into something we cannot yet see. We measure what we lose, but Allah measures what He is building inside us. The heart grows strongest not when life is easy, but when it chooses trust in the middle of difficulty. Every struggle carries a gift, even when the wrapping feels like pain. And sometimes the greatest gift is the heart that learns to depend only on Allah. True strength begins when the heart stops asking, "Why me?" and starts saying, "I trust Allah." That shift is not small. It is the moment faith becomes real, not just spoken. Patience is not weakness. Patience is controlled power guided by trust in Allah. And when patience stands with faith, the soul stops collapsing under pain. It learns to breathe again slowly, carefully, with hope. Sometimes what you thought was the ending is actually the beginning of who you were meant to become. Allah does not write broken stories for His believers. He writes beautiful ones, sometimes slowly. And every delay, every hardship, and every tear has a place in that design. Nothing with Allah is wasted. Not your effort, not your patience, not your pain. Al Kausar reminds you, what Allah has written for you will always reach you. Victory in Islam is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply a heart that refuses to break. Sometimes it is a prayer whispered when the world thinks you have nothing left. Sometimes it is a tear wiped quietly, followed by trust. And sometimes victory is simply reaching the other side of pain with your faith still alive. This is the quiet strength Al Kausar teaches: honor without arrogance, faith without fear. And when a believer learns this strength, the world no longer defines their worth. They walk differently, they hope differently, they live differently. Because they know that real abundance does not come from people, it comes from Allah. And when Allah gives, He gives in ways that change hearts forever. This is the gift of Al Kausar, not only for one moment in history, but for every believer, including you. When the heart truly understands Al Kausar, life doesn't suddenly become easier, but it becomes clearer. You begin to see that what Allah takes is never greater than what He plans to give, and every step you walk with trust becomes a step towards something better than you imagined. Faith does not erase pain, it gives it meaning. It teaches the heart how to stand even when everything feels like it's falling. And when the heart stands with Allah, it never stands alone. Al Kausar is not only about abundance promised to one messenger, it is faith gifted to an entire ummah. It is the honor of following truth when the world doubts it. It is the strength of worship when sorrow feels heavy, and it is the promise that those who trust Allah are never truly cut off. If you have ever been overlooked, this surah is for you. If you have ever felt forgotten, this surah is for you. If you have ever lost something precious, this surah is for you. Because Allah does not leave His servants empty. He fills them with what truly matters. Al Kausar is abundance. Al Kausar is honor. Al Kausar is divine love. And it is a reminder that your worth is written in the heavens, not decided by people. Every believer who holds on to faith holds on to honor. Every believer who trusts Allah receives abundance in ways they may never expect. This is the promise of Surah Al Kausar, a promise written by Allah Himself. Faith survives loss. Hearts heal when they return to Allah. Honor lives with truth. Strength lives in patience. Hope lives in remembrance. Abundance lives with Allah. And those who trust Allah never lose. Their story is always guided, always protected, always honored. This is the story of Surah Al Kausar, Allah's promise of endless abundance. And for the believer, that promise never ends.